So Ted Cruz was booed off stage at a Middle East Christian conference. Senator Ted Cruz was booed off stage at a conference for Middle Eastern Christians Wednesday night after saying that Christians have no greater ally than Israel. Cruz, the keynote speaker at the sold-out D.C. dinner gala for the recently founded nonprofit In Defense of Christians, began by saying that tonight we are all united in defense of Christians. Tonight we are all united in defense of Jews. Tonight we are all united in defense of people of good faith who are standing together against those who would persecute and murder those who dare disagree with their religious teachings. Cruz was not reading from a teleprompter, nor did he appear to be reading from notes. Let's continue. Religious bigotry is a cancer with many manifestations, he continued. ISIS, al-qaeda, Hezbollah, Hamas, state sponsors like Syria and Iran are all engaged in a vicious genocidal campaign to destroy religious minorities in the Middle East. Sometimes we are told not to loop these groups together, that we have to understand their so-called nuances and differences. But we shouldn't try to parse different manifestations of evil that are on a murderous rampage through the region. Hate is hate and murder is murder. Our purpose here tonight is to highlight a terrible injustice, a humanitarian crisis. Christians have no greater ally than Israel, he said, at which point members of the crowd began to yell, "Stop it!" and booed him. EWTN News Nightly Jason Calvi caught the moment on video. He continued, "Those who hate Israel hate America," he continued, as the boos and calls for him to leave the stage got louder. "Those who hate Jews hate Christians. If those in this room will not recognize that, then my heart weeps. If you hate the Jewish people, you are not reflecting the teachings of Christ, and the very same people who persecute and murder Christians right now, who crucify Christians, who behead children, at the very same people who target Jews for the faith for the same reason." The cries of stop it, enough, and booing continued. "Out, out, leave the stage." At this point, IDC's president, Tufik Baklini, came out on the stage to ask for the crowd to listen to Cruz, but Cruz had already had enough. "If you will not stand with Israel and the Jews," he said, "then I will not stand with you. Good night and God bless." And with that, he walked off the stage. Many Christians in the Middle East take issue with the Israel military police, which has made life for Palestinian Christians in their homeland very difficult and driven many from their homes and killed them. Israel's policies have led to demographic pressure that's made the West Bank and Gaza far more Muslim than in 1948, explained one Middle Eastern analyst. IDC's executive director, Andrew Doran, then came out on stage saying, "For the love of God, we're here to talk about Christians, and we're here to be united." Antiochian Orthodox Metropolitan Joseph Zalawi, he leads the Antiochian Orthodox in North America, soon after led those present in the Lord's Prayer. Here's the thing. I made a video telling you that the quote-unquote Palestinian people were Christian, Orthodox, Muslim, Coptic, all sorts of things. Palestinian does not mean that they are a Muslim. It was a nice area where people were living in harmony, in peace. Zionism is not Judaism. Zionism doesn't care that they are, and Palestinians are also Jews. So they are killing and murdering babies, women, civilian men by the millions. This is Israel. They're trying to put out propaganda that, Palestinians are trying to kill babies and they're hiding behind schools. Yeah, I know you've heard it, right? I've even had people say, well, Palestinians hide behind their children. Not true. Israel is state-sponsored terrorism and apartheid against the Palestinian people, who are Jews, Christian, Muslim, Orthodox, Coptics. Palestinian does not mean Muslim. I'm glad that the Christian conference, booed him off stage because they understand and they know what is really going on. This Israel that a lot of the Christian churches who are just completely ignorant of the truth of what is going on, they have black people living in ghettos in Israel who are the original Jews. People from Ethiopia coming there thinking that it's the Jewish homeland, which is really an oxymoron statement, because the Jews were Cushites. They were not these Middle Eastern people, and in fact nobody lived there. I know all of you all say, oh, the Holy Bible said. The Holy Bible is not an archaeological textbook. I know that's going to rattle a lot of you, rattle some of your faith and say that if you don't believe that, then you're not a Christian. I also believe in archaeology. I also believe and know that the entire Bible has been rewritten, and it was rewritten by Zionists. I have it on fact. And I'm not talking about it was rewritten 2,000 years ago. I'm talking about it was rewritten less than 300 years ago. Rewritten, completely redone. The Christianity of today isn't the same as it was 70 years ago. And the Christianity of 70 years ago is nowhere near the same as it was 200 years ago when America started. You don't even know your own faith in the United States. You don't even know your own religion in the United States. Everybody's running around screaming separation of church and state. You don't even know how the country was run 200 years ago, 100 years ago. Did you know that the church dictated what people would do in the various states? The church did. There was really no such thing as the government controlling stuff, the governor, the mayor. No, it was the church. Did you know that? Now, if you don't know that and you're American, how is it you think you know what's going on in Israel? And you think Israel is this peace-loving nation and they're defending themselves. They've murdered and slaughtered Palestinian people. That's Palestinian Jews, Palestinian Christians, Palestinian Orthodox, Palestinian Coptics. This is your Zionism. Zionism is not Judaism. If you want to go hug a Jew, why don't you go hug yourself an Orthodox Jew and ask him how he feels about Israel? I think your eyes would be completely opened. I don't think Ted Cruz was even talking from his heart. I think Ted Cruz was told what to say. I don't think Ted Cruz actually believes that Christians are siding with Zionists. Any awakened and informed Christian is not going to side with the state of Israel. And Orthodox Jews do not believe in the state of Israel. Israel is a murderous, terrorist country. They put out propaganda saying that they're this Disney character, this Disney movie. Oh, the birds are chirping and everybody's happy in Israel. Do you know that they have people sectioned off, cordoned off, and that people over there don't have full rights inside of Israel. I'm not talking about Palestinians outside of Israel. I'm not talking about somewhere else. I'm talking inside of Israel. It's an apartheid state. Nelson Mandela said there is no more terroristic and apartheid state than Israel today. Nelson Mandela. Now, if he said it, do you believe it? Do you think maybe he knows something that you don't know? What do you think about Ted being booed off stage? Thank you for watching the Shikama Live Show.